You ever see a tattoo that just stops you cold? One of those faded things that looks more like a grocery store sticker than actual ink? That's how it started. Bunch of us out on the yard, soldiers blowing off steam between drills, laughing it up, when this little woman, maybe 5'4" on a good day, took off her jacket, and I swear, every head just about snapped in her direction. Under her wrist was this silver tattoo, kind of geometric, not a butterfly or a heart. Nothing soft, just sharp lines, like a symbol from a secret club nobody talked about. Some smart-mouthed private cracked. "What? You shop at the same store as my grandma?" We laughed, I'll admit, until one of the officers stepped up, his voice hard, official, told her to cover it up, but before she could move, this old colonel, Marcus Shaw, comes walking up, his face gone pale as a ghost. He just stares at her wrist, eyes wide, and says, dead serious, "That tattoo, it's been classified since 2009. Her name was Marla Jensen. To most of us, she was just the logistics lady, always in work boots and cargo pants, plain shirts that had seen better years, not a stitch of official uniform. Just a badge clipped to her belt, support logistics. She fixed what was broken, filled what was empty, and if you needed water, she was there before you even realized you were thirsty. Most days, you didn't see her at all. She just slipped around the edges of the base, fixing rifles, patching up trucks, never talking unless she had to. Some of the guys made up stories about her past. Maybe she'd been an artist, or a barista, or even drew cartoons for kids. All we really knew was she was there, always calm, always steady, never rising to the bait when someone threw shade her way. I remember one day, during a weapons check, this sergeant's rifle stock was loose. Marla stepped up, tools out, and fixed it in minutes. Work that would have taken the armorer 20, but the sergeant just shrugged it off, muttering, "What does logistics know anyway?" She didn't even look offended, just walked away, shoulders hunched like she was carrying something heavy none of us could see. To most, she was furniture, useful, ignored, invisible, but Lieutenant Colonel Rowan? He started noticing things. The way she moved, deliberate, careful, always aware of the exits, always counting heads. He looked at that tattoo and saw something the rest of us missed, a warning, maybe. Rowan's seen enough to know when someone's not what they seem. One night, after seeing her field strip a rifle scope with the kind of precision you just don't learn from YouTube, Rowan dug into her file. Not much there. Basic info, most of it blacked out, next of kin redacted, emergency contacts blank. That's weird for logistics, right? He tried to get deeper, system flagged it, locked him out, warnings everywhere. Even the AI face recognition couldn't place her, just flashed, profile erased, data classified, do not proceed. When Rowan used a photo of her tattoo, the system spit out Omega Class Tattoo, access denied. Report to clearance level 7. You don't see that unless you're digging somewhere you shouldn't. Rowan pulled some strings, old favors from Pentagon buddies, tried every back channel. Nothing. Finally, some shadow and military intelligence sent him a single warning. If you're asking about Omega tattoos, stop. Some doors stay closed for a reason. That only made Rowan more curious. Naturally, so he watched her even closer. The way she never sat with her back to a door, the way she mapped out a room without looking like she was paying attention, how she moved like a ghost until, suddenly, you'd notice she was standing right behind you, silent as midnight. Then came the day of the sniper training. Best marksman from 3 units. Competition was fierce, nerves on edge. Some rookie fumbled his rifle. Marla picked it up, checked it, and adjusted the scope like she'd done it 1,000 times. Officer barked at her. "This area isn't for civilians." And Marla just kept working, rolling up her sleeve to expose that silver tattoo. The whole place burst out laughing. "What kind of tattoo is that? Looks like something you get at a carnival," someone said. But then, Colonel Shaw saw it, and suddenly nobody was laughing. The man looked like he'd seen a ghost. He whispered, "Impossible. That's been banned since 2009. And just like that, the air changed. Shaw stepped forward, hands trembling, and said, "You were Omega 7. Marla didn't flinch. She just said, I'm just logistics. Her voice so steady, but you could hear it, the steel underneath, like she was daring anyone to push further. Shaw turned to the rest of us and barked. No one mentions this again. No photos, no reports. Anyone talks. Court-martial. A minute later, he whispered to Rowan. She's the only sniper who ever completed 4 hostage rescues without backup. The enemy called her the Silver Ghost. Yeah, that happened. And suddenly, all those stories we'd made up about her. Maybe she was a legend. Maybe she was a ghost. Maybe she never existed at all. None of it felt like a joke anymore. After that, things changed. Whispers spread, rumors grew. People remembered how she handled their weapons, how she moved, how she seemed to just know things. Some said she'd saved hundreds of lives. Others said she'd done things too dark to talk about. But everyone remembered the way Colonel Shaw had looked at that tattoo, like he'd seen something that should have stayed buried. That night, Marla sat alone in the logistics office. She could feel eyes on her everywhere. The comfort of being invisible was gone. She knew she couldn't stay. Next morning, there was a note slipped under her door. Some of us remember Kandahar. Thank you. The families of those hostages will never know your name, but they're alive because of you. Not signed, didn't need to be. By dawn, her quarters were empty, office clean to perfection, just a single folded paper left behind under the rifle scope she'd last worked on. Don't judge anyone by the uniform they wear or don't wear. The strongest people are often the ones who choose not to show their strength. That hit me, you know. The sergeant who once mocked her even wrote in his journal. Those eyes made me realize I wasn't qualified to mock anyone. After Marla left, equipment broke down less often. Scopes were always just a bit sharper, and we all started asking the names of the support crew instead of barking orders. People remembered. Heroes don't always wear medals or capes. Sometimes they wear boots and fix your gear while you're too busy chasing glory. Stories grew. She'd taken down whole enemy units alone, prevented disasters nobody would ever know about. Most recruits could only find a single line about Omega Force in the files, deleted from system as of 2009. No access authorized. But Shaw, he knew the truth. He'd seen the files, the impossible missions that only got done because someone didn't need the credit, didn't want the spotlight, just did the job and disappeared. The base kept on with its routines, drills, chow, inspections, but something had shifted. We all started looking at each other a little different, respecting the quiet ones, the background workers, the people who didn't need applause. Because not everyone who looks ordinary is ordinary, not everyone who stays silent is weak, and not everyone who serves does it in a way the world understands. Sometimes, strength is quiet, like Marla. Sometimes, power whispers while weakness shouts. Next time you see someone who seems ordinary, remember her. Remember the Silver Ghost. Remember that the strongest folks are usually the ones who don't have to prove anything to anybody. And if you believe in quiet people, the ones who change the world and walk away without ever needing thanks, say it out loud. Because real strength isn't loud. It just shows up, gets the job done, and disappears into the crowd. So, what do you think? Is real heroism about making noise and demanding attention? Or is it about doing the right thing, even if nobody ever knows your name? Drop your thoughts below. I want to know where you stand on what makes someone truly strong.